Welcome back, Southwest Florida. We're so thrilled to have here today a candidate for Lee County Sheriff, James Didio. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good to get you here. First of all, James, you need to know this because you may be coming on the show some more in the future as this campaign rolls on through 2016. Never outdress the host of the show. What do you have to say about, man, you're clean?
Oh, I like dressing up, and I don't get a major chance other than wearing a police uniform to wear a suit, so I decided to go all out today for you.
Why did a young, good-looking guy like you decide to take on such a monumental task as being the sheriff of Lee County?
I can tell you, I started on road patrol 10 years ago at Lee County Sheriff's Office, and you know, after a period of time, I left. I went and ventured off into my own business, but I kept a keen eye and watched and listened and learned, and I said, you know, I want to make a change. I want to make a change in what's going on here, and I studied, listened, learned, and here I am.
What sets you apart from the other candidates?
I can tell you that, you know, I am not an upset police officer. I'm not mad at anybody. I have a distinct plan. I want to follow that plan, and I want to make it happen, and, you know, just keep going.
Now, we have your website coming on the screen from time to time throughout this interview. When people go to your website, they can learn all about you, your platform, how to support you, the whole works.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, you know, everything from the most important thing of about me, my platform, all the way down to where you can donate, or you can, you know, throw in your email address, your name, and come help me. Help me out, hold signs, and knock on doors.
Who are some of these people we're seeing flashing across the screen on these photos? Is that your family?
Yeah, I can tell you I have a 2-year-old son and a 6-month-old little girl, Gemma, and obviously my beautiful wife. She's a youth teacher here in Lee County.
By your wife being a teacher, what does that do in terms of you having more, you know, thoughts about the youths?
I can tell you that I think a lot of this, especially the recent violence, comes back to our youth. You know, the kids need someone to look up to, and a lot of these children and parents look up to my wife, and I'm honored to have her as my wife because, you know, they look up to her, and hopefully they can progress in their future through her.
What's the biggest challenge facing a sheriff going forward?
I can tell you that mainly it's this violence. This violence and keeping one with the community is the hardest part, because one can outweigh the other very easily.
The fact that we're here at the Children's Network of Southwest Florida, you've gotten a chance to kind of be exposed to this great organization. What do you think about the work that they're doing?
I can tell you the Children's Network is just absolutely outstanding. I was listening to the CEO talk, and you know their campaign for the you know the Christmas season is absolutely outstanding. I just like their page on Facebook. You should definitely do that if you haven't done it. But it's been great.
You sound good. Now, if you become sheriff, I'm sure you'll be closely involved with what they're doing with the kids.
Absolutely.
Your organization. That's right. That's what we want to hear. Explain. Sometimes we have to go back and explain. Sometimes you have to go back to go forward.
So when I first started this, I was looking for something to say over and over and over again, and obviously like a little bit of a motto. And I kept saying, well, why don't you just go back to go forward? And what I meant by that was, why don't we rewind to when we were going back before the crime, and when we were making one with the community and progressing there to stop the violence, to stop what's going on, to keep our roads safe. I feel like we're jumping ahead so fast and we're being so political in nature that nothing's getting done.
Now, Ferguson, Baltimore, hot in 2015 and 2014. Could we have a Ferguson, Baltimore type situation here in Lee County, or do you feel that we are there now?
I can tell you that a lot of Ferguson and a lot of Baltimore was a lot of reaction. There was no proactive policing that went on before that to prevent the situation. I feel that the proactive policing that's going on here is to, well, we're going to fight the crime. But they've forgotten about the main thing, community service. Let's get out there. Let's meet everybody. Let's meet these people. Let's be one. That way, if something like that, as tragic as Ferguson or Baltimore happens, we can go ahead and nail it right in the beginning.
Mike Scott, one of your primary candidates, existing incumbent. Why should he be beaten, and why would you win in August?
I can tell you that that Mike Scott, you know, he hired me back in 2006, and I had the honor to work under him and kind of follow in his lead. I believe now that after 12 years, a lot of things that he's done have been great, but you know, it comes to an end at some point, and you're kind of just a revolving door.
When you sit down as sheriff day one in your office, air conditioning blowing, nice beach, not the beach, but you know, nice office there, corner office. What's the first thing you're going to do? What are you going to start working on? What's going to be the change?
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out there. We're going to put our police back on the streets. We're going to get them out of their offices, and we're going to go back to community policing. Let's go back and meet the people.
Are you saying right now, because I'm just a conscientious observer, I don't know what goes on in law enforcement, are you saying they're not on the streets right now?
I can tell you that there's 35 plus road positions that are vacant right now in your community. The road patrol officers that come to your house, they pull you over, they clean up a car accident. We're 35 short. How can you proactively police anything when you're so short? A whole shift missing?
But isn't that budget related?
It is not budget related. What the sheriff currently did was raise the budget to over $160 million from $140 million last year. And he allotted for some new positions. And what we've done is a $35,000 a year job is just not appealing to a lot of these kids coming out of college or wanting to be police officers anymore. $35,000 a year is definitely low budget.
Really? 35,000? What should it be? What's the?
Well, I mean, I can tell you that over the last 10 years, no raises have been given. This year in particular, during an election time, he has put a raise in action. It's a 4% raise. Well, if you take that times 10, you got 40%. 40% of a cop that was 10 years ago, is he worth more today than he was worth 10 years ago when he started? I think so.
Oh, we have to get the sheriff in here to talk about that. Final question. We see and been reading about the governor. Rick Scott has come down. He's had meetings with the Fort Myers Police Department, the Lee County Sheriff Department, Mike Scott and Chief Edie. All of that's going on. What's your thought about the working relationship between the city of Fort Myers and the county police?
Well, I can tell you this much, that a lot of meetings, they're great. We can drink a lot of coffee and meet a lot. Getting out there and doing the action is what we need to be doing. And now, after all of these homicides, after all of this crime in Lee County, now, after all these years, we're going to join together and we're going to go out there and fight crime now, today. What about a year ago? What about 2 years ago?
Okay, James Didio, thanks for joining us on Lead Piss Live.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck with your campaign, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like James Didio and all the fine people here at the Children's Network of Southwest Florida who are doing it. We'll see you right here, same place, same time next week on Lead Piss Live.